Hi, I'm Jeff Clark Jr., and you're watching Art and Underdogs. Today I'm joined by special guests, my father-in-law, Mr. Juan Cuellar, or as I call him, Mr. C. Mr. C is a Cuban refugee. He's actually now a United States citizen, and I thought it'd be a good idea for him to share his story, amazing underdog story. So let's just jump right into it. So you have very inspirational story, actually. You're originally from Cuba. You have a very unique perspective on life compared to a lot of people, actually. So the first question is, what part of Cuba are you from?
Camagüey.
And where is that?
It's a province that is the most western or eastern of Cuba.
Okay. So what was it like growing up there?
Well, it's I was from the first generation after the revolution, so I remember few things about the republic before Castro, and we were very poor family,
Mm.
you know, and uh, and that's it. We were so poor that before Castro, that we could eat. We we have a good life in a sense. We were not starving, but after Fidel Castro, everything went to hell. So the
Hell.
poor become poorer, and the dreams that I had, was killed. So I
Yeah.
can tell you more about it as you go.
Yeah. So what dreams did you have that were killed?
Well, my dream when I was in Cuba, when I was a boy, being poor and having so many difficulties, it was to build my own home,
Mm.
that I will have a good home, that I will build, and that I will go to school, and that will be study very hard, and that resume what I really want as I was a kid then.
Yeah, you wanted to build your own home and
Yeah,
yeah, go to
build my
school.
own home, have a better life, not be the worst house in the neighborhood, not being the worst family in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But unbelievably, there were people lower than us in
Wow.
the neighborhood. So, yeah, that's what my
What
dream
did
was.
you want to go to school for?
Because I wanted to study, I want to become my first dream was an architect, so I can build.
An architect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had that from the beginning, but I just wanted to excel,
Yeah.
and the possibility would be open. But then soon I realized that was not the case.
Yeah. So in Cuba, how did you get food? Did everyone work in your family, or did the government give you food? How did that work?
Well, we were living with my grandmother and
Mm.
my grandfather, which, by the way, is the only strong love and bond that I had.
I
My
see.
grandmother and my grandfather, he lost everything, and then he was so poor in a sense that he used to go to a bakery and buy all the bread, 20 loaf of bread and or 30, put them on a sack, and then go in a bus outside the city, and then try to exchange it and sell it
Ah.
in the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he would try to make a profit off of the bread that he
he
bought.
tried to make a living.
Yeah.
So my grandmother would not put the stove, which was a charcoal.
Charcoal stove.
Yeah, vegetable charcoal, and she would not put it on until he comes to see what he brought.
Mm.
That's how poor we were.
Yeah.
Many times it didn't lit
Hold
up.
up. You
No.
just didn't have
Yeah.
any heat. Yeah. And in Cuba, it gets cold in the winter months at night, probably, right?
Well, Camagüey, yes,
Yeah.
Camagüey is flat. Even though it has some Sierra mountains, very little, Sierra Cubitas, but it's very cold. It's one of the coldest. Only when you go to Orient and you go into higher altitude that you feel the cold. But Camagüey is very cold
Yeah.
during night. Yeah, not cold, but let's say 75, 76. Some nights in summer, it's hot.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
What was it like where you slept? Like how did that work? Did you have your own
Well,
bed or
I
anything?
never had any bed.
No.
No, I could tell you that I never had a bed or a bedroom or nothing like that.
So how did the sleeping
I
arrangements?
sleep with my grandmother and my grandfather sometimes, and I slept on a cot
The cot.
in the kitchen,
Mhm.
and which reminds me of funny stories. But anyway, yeah.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
the ghost in the patio that they were talking about.
Oh,
I couldn't fall asleep until the ghost that was in the patio, blah blah blah, all that. And then finally, I said, "The hell with the ghost,"
I'm tired.
and that's why I can sleep anywhere.
Yeah.
I can go to a cemetery
You can
and
sleep in the
sleep.
cemetery.
Yeah, and leave it down.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, it must have been rough,
mm.
rough going up there.
Yeah, and then
So,
the rooster, because they have like a
uh,
cockfighting via that they call that they're training.
oh, really?
And online, they start at 1:30. Hey, hey. Yeah. Or
That's crazy. So that's I'm sure people made money that way with cockfighting and
yeah, it was they were training. Yeah, that was a
betting and
business. It was
training.
a business.
Yeah. Wow.
It wasn't
Different.
no.
Yeah. So what kind of things did you do for money in Cuba when you were younger?
Oh, when I became that was in Guantanamo. That's another city. That's
Guantanamo.
Oriente. Yeah,
Okay.
that's how. It's a city that the U.S. naval base
Yeah. So when you
is
got
located.
so when you got older, you moved closer to.
No, because what happened is my grandmother had trouble, so we have to go with my mom, and then we go to my sisters. So I was kind of a bumping from one place to
I see.
another. So yeah,
Wow.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But did you ever work at all, or was it just hard to find job? How old were you?
No, I left Cuba when I was 70 years old.
So before that, did you have any jobs, or could you
Yeah,
find work?
I had a few jobs as a kid to
Okay.
make my money. Shoe shining
Mm.
in in my room. In Guantanamo, my mother lived in one room. We call it cuarteria. What do you call them in English? Quarters?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of it.
And then I used to bring about five or I have 6 or 7 customers, 10 cents each. And they give me the money to go to the movies and buy me, you know,
Yeah.
the lunch and stuff like that.
Wow.
So I did that, but I didn't do it on the street. I didn't like it. That stupid pride. I just didn't like to be doing it on the street.
Yeah.
Even though my brother had one. So
Okay.
so
How many siblings do you have?
we were 4. Now
Four.
we're at 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Total.
My sister passed away about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
The actress.
Yolanda,
Yolanda, the
and
actress.
she was an actress. Can you tell us a little bit more about her and what she was like growing up?
Well, she grown up the same way that we all did together in a sense, and that we were split in church. We were given away in the church
Mm.
because nobody can take care of it.
Oh, I see.
So there's a lot of trauma, but it's all over. It's all done
Yeah. Yeah.
because I believe that my strong faith in God,
Yeah.
He never let me down.
Absolutely.
Never did.
Yeah.
Hallelujah to Him.
So how did you get from Cuba to the United States?
Well, it was a long process.
Mm.
First of all, I remember that when Castro triumphed, I saw through the door all the rebels, with beer,
Mm.
shooting because we live in Agramonte, which is a neighborhood in Camagüey that is next to a barrack, military barrack,
Yeah.
like a fortress, stuff like that. And I saw them shooting, and one bullet came through the door. So that's when my curiosity went to see what was that, and then I saw the hole in the door, and yeah, my sister grabbed me. So I was the first generation
No.
when Castro took power to be educated.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
So what are your thoughts on Castro? As you were growing up, in the beginning, were you like, oh, it's a good thing, or did you realize it's a bad thing when you got older?
Well,
How did that work?
at the beginning, I remember I went to school in kindergarten. I was about close to 6, so they accepted me because it was few days, few weeks before my 6th birthday. So, and I remember I was reading the back of the book that my grandmother was sacrificed bought me, notebook,
Mhm.
and in the back it has a multiplication table. And then I was I was trying to memorize. I knew that
Mhm.
1 plus 1 and I mean multiplied by 1 is 1 and stuff like that. So I went to the table and the teacher saw me. And then she said, but I still remember those were the teachers before the revolution.
Okay.
And we had a good, our system of education was the German system, preparational. It means that every grade, every age gradually. It's not like a big jump like in here, that you go from high school to college and you lost. And like university, boom, it hits you very hard. It's very preparational,
Yeah.
methodical. And then I remember that I memorized. So the teacher said, "Do you think you're going to remember today what you're learning about the multiplication?" I said, "Yes." So I will. And then she said, "Okay, so I'm going to test you." And she tested me and she passed me. The next day, I was not in kindergarten. I was in first grade.
Mm.
So then I skipped one grade. And then in third grade, going to fourth grade, I skipped the fourth grade. They put me in the fifth grade. So actually, I was 13 years old when everything stopped. But then I realized at 10 years old that it wasn't going to work out. That system is not going to allow me. There was nothing.
Yeah.
It was less. So then I realized that I had to leave or I'd be in jail. And that's what happened. I went to jail.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so I was watching a game of baseball and then a player, I remember his name, Jose Capiro, was a big guy. I mean, every time he connect, few times, he can disappear the ball. I mean, I'm telling you, it's gone.
Yeah.
But 99.9% is struck out. So we were having a game, and I was a really fanatic of baseball. And I was in the dugout, and then we were losing 2-1 in the ninth inning. We're home team. We need to score. We have a man on first and second. So at least we could tie the game with a hit. And they put him in, and everybody's booing him, like put somebody else, substitute.
Yeah.
And they didn't, and he struck out. So when he was coming, I call him ponchon, which means Spanish strikeout, argumentative. Ponchon means bigger than punch, that is strike out. We have that saying in Spanish. And then he called me SOV and a whole bunch of obscene things. And then I scream, "Oh, so besides that you are ponchon, you are bembon." It means you have a big lips.
Yeah.
And then he threw the bat at me and it swings like a helicopter. I'm telling you, that one, boop, boop, boop. And he hit somebody. So anyway, the police came in, they arrested me, they took me to court, they cited me too. And then when I was there, I was asking, where is Jose Capiro? Why he's not here? He threw me a bat. I didn't say nothing. No, and then the judge said, it's a revolutionary sport and the revolution is together, is doing his thing, and stuff, blah, 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 blah. And then I said, but he should be here. Why did he throw the bat at me? If that bat hit me, I would be killed. So I said, listen, we have your record here, your file.
Yeah.
Because everything about communism is file.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a good student. Look at your age. You're in pre-university. And you need guidance.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, so you're telling me that I need guidance? Yeah, we're going to push you in the communist youth to guide you through the process. Because so you're important too to the revolution. And I said, so, okay, so you're going to put me in the youth, communist youth, which in Spanish is called Jóvenes Comunistas, La Unión de Jóvenes Comunistas, the Union of Jóvenes Comunistas. And then I said, so what you want me to do is, I grew up, I get bigger, and then I can go and throw a bat and beat up a kid, a minor, and it's okay?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, man, that was, I play a key, man, that you're not supposed to play.
Yeah. So what did they do?
They put me they sent me to prison, to a labor camp. 1 month on the what they call VBAC, which is a minor,
A minor?
all the minor. And then from there, they took me to a labor camp. And what happened there, I won't even want to talk because they returned me, and then my sister had to get me out because, see, what happened with me is that I was blonde, blue eye, and they thought that I was bitongo. In Spanish, it means like somebody with money, a family from the past,
Spanish.
They didn't know that.
European.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and that caused me a lot of trouble.
Cause you trouble.
Yeah.
Because the way
Even in the neighborhood, I had to fight more.
because of
I
the
had
way
to be
you look.
tougher. The way I was brought up, yeah, because they were picking on me.
Yeah.
Because in Cuba, there was not so much racism as a race.
Yeah.
It was more a social economic racism in a sense. It
I
was a
see.
social economic discrimination. If you were
Discrimination.
poor, they see you like low class. That's
Yeah.
what happened in Cuba before Castro. After Castro, it reversed. It's like what is happening here now is very similar to what happened in Cuba.
Okay.
No, so it's a social,
Social.
yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get from where you were in Cuba to Guantanamo Bay to become a Cuban refugee?
Well, my best youth time was in Camagüey. In Havana, I spent like some part of a year, went to school there, but to me, Havana was too big.
Too big.
Too big.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful city, too big. So Guantanamo was a small city surrounded by hills. And we're talking about almost the beginning of the revolution, 1962, 3 years. So I was studying there. So that was a process also of between Camagüey and Guantanamo. And in Havana was only one semester. So that doesn't count. Now in Santiago, then I want to study there, but that's a different time when I was 15. So in Guantanamo, I felt like I'm like a child paradise. We had a river, and I used to swim in the river, and it was a beautiful city. We live in a street that has also the railroad, but not for the train, just certain what they call streetcar things.
Streetcars.
But more than streetcar. It's
Yeah.
like a wagon that, yeah, and it was very colorful, and still there was certain abundance. In
Yeah.
1962, I was there when Hurricane Flora, hit the Oriente province, and that's in Guantanamo, is in Oriente, and in the eastern part of the island. And so I have a good time there. And there also I saw the abuse of authority.
The abuse of authority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're communist, if you are a teacher, if you are a police, eh, whoever you are, if you're communist, that's it. They can do anything.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And I was a rebel.
Yeah.
I was a rebel. I always look for justice. I try to be just.
Yeah.
Honestly, I did.
Yeah.
I never started a fight, but fight always found me.
Yeah.
And that's stuff like that I went through, and then I realized that. But it's good. It was good. I consider Guantanamo part of my life. I love that city wholeheartedly. So when my mother lived there, like I said, in a quarter, and then she got a little house, but little poor house.
Yeah.
And she used to live in the north part of the city, right there. We got north, south, and then downtown. Which is what downtown always is around the park and the church. You know how the Spanish town always worked out. The center of the city was the church, the park, and then they start going
I see.
all the way around the perimeter. Madrid is the same way. Habana is the same way. So, but that's a small town. And I remember that in Guantanamo, some Cubans used to work on the base,
Right.
and I had some cousins, Chino, like Chinese. He was married to a Chinese, one of the aunts, far aunts, and I remember he used to bring all the bicycles in Christmas, stuff like that. And so then I knew that there was a life
There was a life outside.
outside.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And then watching the movies, even though they try not to put so much American movie, but a Spanish movie or so anyway.
Yes.
The same thing. Franco, Spanish productions,
Okay.
and English, also English movie. And then I always dream every time I saw, since I was about maybe 10, I used to dream to be like I could disappear into a briefcase of a foreigner
Yeah, sneak into a
and,
briefcase.
and go.
Like a stowaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I always kept it in my mind, but I kept on going. So what happened is, then I realized that I didn't have anything during the 1970. Now I'm jumping.
That's okay.
During the 1970, I was in three internship. Okay, school. We call them BEC, intern, study.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one that I got was to go through the secondary. In I got that one when I was about I don't know 9 or 10, and didn't work out. They fired me inside the communists in the dormitory because whatever communist said, that's it.
Yeah.
You cannot defend yourself. You cannot say no. He was stealing.
Yeah.
He was stealing. And then I said, "What are you taking when it's not yours?" And I got kicked out. The same thing happened in art, in art of plastic art, painting, drawing, and sculpture. And I got kicked out in the dormitory. And the third one in the dormitory. So now I was during the last one that they were making professor of art. So you can go into a small town and bring the art to the needed and to the poor, all this stuff, which it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Honestly, it's all BS.
Yeah.
And then I went to Guantanamo. So I didn't want to go and study. I didn't want to work. I didn't want to do nothing. I said, I'm going to try to make a plan to escape through Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
Because now Guantanamo Bay is a bay. You can say that two mouths. One is the bay, belongs to Cuba, Guantanamo. And then it's the open one with the island that goes outside to open sea. And then they got land, both sides, and then land. And they meet.
Yep.
From there, it's the United States territory. From here, it's Cuban territory.
Yeah.
So then I know that they were putting, because I had a contact, and by the way, I have to talk to you about Ángel Salazar.
Yeah. Yes.
You can get to that, or
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Angel was about 40 years old, and I was about 16, going into 70 when we started preparing the whole thing. So, and Angel and I were starting to make the plans, to leave. And then the good thing is, I remember that I was in the stadium, Ban Troy, they call him because of Vietnamese communist hero. And I was there, we was high on the hill. So then I look at the Guantanamo Bay. You can see Guantanamo Bay because it's about 10 kilometers from where I was.
Yeah.
You can see all the lights. Brilliant. Green, blue. I could see the street of the airport. The landing strip, the lights, everything. And it was good because it served me well when we finally tried to escape. So anyway, we make an attempt.
Yeah. Was it you and Angel?
Yeah, planning. Me and Angel, and there was another guy. Okay. So what happened is my mom heard the rumor that I was somebody. Yeah. And she said, and she started screaming, and I'd rather send you to jail, and I will take you, la jarita. Jarita means the bag of food, but I see you alive than see you dead, because that regime is so intrinsically perverse and evil that they put mines all around the coast.
Yeah.
Mine inside the fences. They put fences, electrical fences.
So if anyone tried to escape, they just
Or will electrocute, either the mines will explode,
Yeah.
and then whatever it was left, they will take it to the cemetery in Guantanamo. And any family that has sons or daughters that disappear mysteriously, eventually it's because they tried to escape. Go there and try to see if you can identify the pieces.
Yeah.
That's how evil they were. So I know that my mom, she saw herself looking at pieces of me.
Right. Right.
So then I told her, I said, no. Don't worry. Buy me the ticket back to come away. And she went and bought me the ticket, put me on the bus. And I said goodbye. So what happened is that as the bus was leaving town, I waited, until, almost leaving town. It's a small town. I said, listen to the chauffeur. I don't have my ID. And in Cuba, you cannot move if you don't have your ID.
Mm-hmm.
They put you in jail. They arrest you until you bring your ID and they can see who you are. That's how controlled it is.
Yeah.
And so he said, well, what do you want me to do? I said, well, I don't know. Sign here that I left my ID, say something, and then I present that, and then they give me another ticket.
Yeah.
He said, okay. He signed it over there, put there, make a note, and then I got that. So then I went to the quarters that my mom used to live. The Angels still have his family, his brother, because I knew his brother, and has still a room there, and that's where I slept for about a night and a half, and that we tried to escape. But what happened is we took the route, we had a contact, and we saw the contact, and we went, boom. So when we got there, there was a place, a distance of about, let's say, walking but sinking in the mud.
The mud is muddy.
Yeah, and you feel all the crabs and stuff like that,
Mm.
and it sucked your feet, and then you see the methane gas, and
Mm-hmm.
about 45 minutes. So we were exhausted when we got there.
Just
To the
trying to
point.
get through the mud.
To the point,
Yeah.
to the solid. So it was a particular place. It used to be a house there, but not even the traces of the house, only like
Foundation.
like an indentation there, like some kind of a
Mm.
water hole or
Okay.
something like that. I don't know. But and then Angel said, listen, now I'm beat up and we need to eat. This is not good. I'm gonna go and take the bus from small little, it's a military town, La Caimanera, and Los Caños. I'm gonna go there, but I'm leaving Los Caños, so I'm not gonna have any problem. I'm not coming in. Because when you come in, they check you in and question you.
Yeah.
So he went, I'm going to get food and I come back tomorrow and I bring the food. So me and Alberto left there. I stayed there. And another one went to get water. The Chino, not my cousin, but El Chino, we call him Chinese.
Yeah.
We used to nickname El Chino. And, and he didn't come back, chicken out. So, but we heard the dogs, and then we were there about 3 days and 4 nights or something.
Where did you sleep? Where did you go? Where did you sleep?
Okay, we were eating. There was what is those fruit from the cactus, the red one?
Like the flowers?
Yeah,
They're like little.
red.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So it was blooming. It's like God, how does that? You put it there. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
God is involved. I tell you later on. And then we used to drink the water from the top of the water with a little straw. There was a plant there that has a little hole
Mm-hmm.
and dry twig and
From the top of the water?
from the top. So we got the salt tend to come down, and then the water is less salty. And we were pissing
From what?
red
What did you drink? What did you sip from?
with a twig that has like a little hole in the middle.
Right, but what water source was it?
The swamp.
You drank from the
The
swamp?
swamp. It was salty water. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
crazy.
from the top. But then the fruit gave us a lot of fluid.
Yeah.
So we were pissing red,
Yes.
completely red.
It's a red flower. Right?
Yeah. And so we stand until finally we decide they're not coming. Something went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So then all that distance that we spent, it was that well that we came through. It was like a soul mine.
Okay.
Mangos, they got there. And then we went, but they were far away the building. But I guarantee you that probably they're watching all that area. But it was 12 o'clock. Maybe it's too hot, and the people were not looking. But I went in, and we went into a house, the first house in the corner there. And we knew when we came that we didn't take the road. We went behind around the river.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because they told us at first contact, don't go on the road because they have houses that got phone just for that. Somebody stranger is walking over and the jeep will come from the military.
Yeah.
And then what happened is that finally the guy saw us and gave me water, and then I drank one glass and I want another one. And he said, no, you cannot drink no more. And boys, go through the back now and go back.
So you got caught this first time.
No, I hasn't been caught. That's the first time that I tried and it failed.
Yeah. Who caught you? Who gave you the water? And
A house that we knocked because we
just
thirsty.
like a random house.
A random house.
Okay.
We risked it because we were told that there were two houses in the middle. So we have an idea, but we didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
But we needed water.
Okay, so the guy gave you water, said, get out
and he
of here.
said, hey, you boys, go to the back and go back where you came from.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was not a squealer, informer.
Yeah.
Okay, it was a good man. So then I go back. When I go back, I hear that my mom found out because when Angel got arrested, everybody said, they got Angelito, they got everybody, but Juan left. So the police was looking for a Juan.
Mm-hmm.
And Juan. So what I did is immediately I got the ticket that I had for the bus to come away. And then I put it presented there in the station, and then they put me in a box immediately. Good. So that's when I present myself in Camagüey. Before I went to see my grandmother and anything, I went to the Ministry of Work.
Mm-hmm.
And it was illegal for you not to study. If you're not study and you don't work, you will be placed into whatever work, and usually agricultural work.
Yeah.
Sugarcane, So I present myself like I wanted to work, and they put me in the railroad, but in a small town, Lugareño in Camagüey, and very far away. So I feel like a good place. God provide that for me to weather the storm.
Yeah.
They were looking.
Right.
But I will tell you something about Ángel Salazar. He was 14 years old. He was a man. He didn't squeal, man. They put the lights on him.
Yeah.
They took him to Santiago.
They interrogated him?
Nothing.
He didn't say anything?
He was a man.
And so Ángel
Salazar.
Can you explain who he is real quick?
Yeah. Ángel Salazar is the actor, comedian.
Yeah.
That works in Scarface.
Yes.
In the character Chichi.
He played Chichi in Scarface, and he was your friend in Cuba.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in Miami Beach, also invited me there, and I saw.
And you were still friends over here in the States once you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We kind of got separated a little bit in the end.
Yeah.
But
I just wanted to let the people know who he was.
So that is Ángel Salazar.
Okay.
Chichi.
So yeah, continue with.
So when finally I went and present myself, you got to present here about next week. Mm-hmm. I went to see my grandmother, and then I found out the real question, the $64,000 question. My mother left, and my aunt, which I don't want to give you too much detail. My aunt said, "What were you? Your mother was crazy. She came from Guantanamo because they said that you were trying to live." I said, what are you talking about? She said, do you know what your mother went and saw the fortune teller? What do you call them? Psychic? Yeah, we call him a piritita over there.
Okay.
She's more.
So your mother went to go see a
spiritual, yeah.
Yeah.
While I was there, that woman, Irma was her name, told her exactly what I was doing.
Wow.
There's no way, Jose. It's surrounded by sea. It's trying to escape. It's eating some fruit. Everything is fine. They're doing a circle around them, but they're not going to get him. He's protected. This is not his time, but he will leave.
Wow.
So I went to the Lugareño, that we were sleeping on a wagon next to the railroad track, and then when there were fires, on the wood beams in the very cheap, from Russia, full of charcoal. I mean, tar. They used to cut up fire when they were burning the sugarcane, to process.
Okay.
And we used to work in the middle of the night. But I was there working because I want to keep working because I didn't want to think
Yeah.
about it no more. I just want to work, waiting for my day off. And then I talked to them and I said, can I work here? And instead of getting, 2 days every 2 weeks, can I stay here like a month and a half? And then I can go and have 7 days and 8 days. He said, sure. So I talked to them. Now, Angel and I had a plan because I would not live without him and he would not live without me. We trusted each other.
Yeah.
He said, if something happens, remember, you go to come away, we split, and when I send you a telegram that your mother is ill, that is to return and try it again.
That's the sign.
Yeah, that's the sign.
That's the sign.
So I was there for a month and a half. So there you go. And this is fact. This is history. This is not nothing. I'm telling you the way it is.
Yeah.
And then you can see the similitude in what happened here and the persecution that all of a sudden start happening by the government itself. And when I got into Camagüey, I didn't have any clothes. Honestly, I didn't have nothing. So my sister gave me a pen. Yolanda, the actress, it had a zipper sideways. I mean, I felt uncomfortable, but I put a t-shirt that I had, didn't see the zipper, but I said, no, this is, when they say, oh man, what that pen? I said, oh, this is a new fashion,
Yeah.
That's the only way that I can escape the embarrassment.
Yeah.
And then I remember and also I had a little long hair because it grew more in a month. They didn't. And they were searching in Camagüey at that time for the peludos. Peludos mean the long hair. Because it's supposed to be you protesting against the government. Got the hippies here.
Oh,
The regime used it like a protest.
Right.
Okay. So what are you protesting?
Yeah.
So anyway, they stopped me and then I present my letter, with the credential and the stamp from the railroad. And the guy said, get inside the car. I said, well, I'm going to see my grandmother then. Block and a half from there. Get in the car. They took me out, beat the crap out of me, cut my hair, put that knife, even part of my crane, cut it, bleeding, everything.
Yeah. You cut your skin and everything.
Yeah.
Cut you up. Yeah.
And then, I'm not going to give you more detail than that. Then I was walking back. They took me outside, like about 5 kilometers. So I have to walk at dark. And I was coming in, with tears coming down.
Yeah.
And then when I got into the house, in Cuba they have a house that works for the government that is watching every block. Every block has a house.
Yeah.
That's called the Committee for the Defense of the Revolution. They watch over.
They're like spies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just watching.
Yep.
You go over there, somebody came over here, stranger, coming with a handbag. They call.
Yeah.
And they keep on report and they come.
Yeah. Keeping tabs on
So I started screaming on them because I got the tag from the car. And they didn't respect my pass. They didn't respect the stamp of the railroad.
Yeah.
So I went to the railroad and had a complaint about what they did. They didn't respect you. Then they didn't give a shit. Look what they done. I put my hair in the bureau of because over there is the director is not director. It's el comité del partido, the party communist, the party. Those are the CEO. That's the one.
Yeah.
So then I showed him. He said, well, I said, and this is the license plate. So you go and get him. I want to see him face to face.
Right.
There were four of them.
They jumped you.
Yeah. And then what happened was, while that was going, then I realized when I was coming down, those words in my mind the assurance that I was going to go, that I was going to try, but I'm not going to do it that time, but that I will go, that it will happen. And she was describing this, spiritual.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I hear the voice, go and see her, go and see her, go and see her. So finally I said, if Angel doesn't send me the telegram now, and I'm not here, and my aunt see the telegram, they were going to go crazy. And my aunt was kind of an informant.
I see.
I found out.
So
And
you had-
she dislike, and she hate us.
So you had to be there to intercept that telegram.
Yeah.
And if you weren't, there's going to be some big talk.
I'm going to create chaos on the family. And then I remember that I went and got me some flowers for her, and I went to see her, and she sit down. And the first thing when she saw me, she said, I knew you were coming.
Wow.
So didn't like that because I'm always run away from those black magic and bembe, that's what we call them. It's African religion things, and I never liked them. I always ran away. It was not in me. But then all of a sudden I'm there, and she gave me the hands. I gave her the hands, and she got my hand, and she changed her voice, and she said, you know what's going to happen with the moon. The first thing she mentioned was the moon. The moon have to do with the cycle of a high tide, low tide.
Yeah.
What happened is, like I told you, that Guantanamo Bay is so big. It's big in a sense as a bay in Cuba for an island, and deep. And it has like a little peninsula, which is called Punta Manatee. But it's similar to Florida. If you see it like a miniature. And then it has a channel. And here is the American post. But it's a little land. When they cross the line, she was on the border, inside the line.
Yeah.
And this one has a little land, and there was also a garita, which is like a watching post from the Cuban government. It has a light. We know that it has a light. I didn't know then until we were swimming there. And then I remember that all of a sudden, when she said about the moon, if you swim against when the high tide is coming in, you're not get there.
No. You're fighting the tide.
You're fine.
Yeah.
And when you go and get it, let's say 2 or 3 hours after, because it's about 5 miles, and you're not swimming like that.
Yeah.
I have some floating device that we made.
You made some floating device.
Yeah, with the cork from industrial refrigeration, the cork. Yeah, we put. Angel did all this.
Wow.
And he dyed it with the battery carbon. Do you know the carbon that is inside?
Yeah.
What do you call them? Whatever. Yeah. Yes. It's crushed, and you make a powder, and then boil it and made it black. And we were there, and you cannot make.
He made that black so you couldn't see you swimming.
No.
So it's dark.
We have to be tied up. Each had a blade. To cut it. We carry a blade, plastic string.
Yeah.
I was the first one. Another guy that came in that I didn't trust, and then Angel was the last one.
Why did he make it black though? Why did he have to make it black?
Because at night, you don't want nothing that reflect. No moon.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the moonlight, it'll show the white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will show.
Yeah.
It will show something, or even the star, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
No, we didn't have any moon. As a matter of fact, it was kind of a small rain, which was perfect.
Oh, wow.
At the beginning. Then for an hour and a half. Then he opened up. And so I was watching the star and stuff like that. So then we realized that in the session that I was having, that it was referring to that. And I said, my name is Elewa, the God of the Thousand Rows. And I said, are you a servant of God? I asked him. He said, yes, why you ask? I said, where are you in the Bible? He said, I don't have to be in the Bible. I said, well, you're not a servant of God. So immediately, all my feelings that I had to leave to reassure me disappear. I didn't need it. I said, I'm tempting my Lord. Inside of me, I said, well, I have nothing to do. I said, but without me, you're not going to live. So if I don't live, I don't live. But I'm living with my Jesus Christ, God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I left. Now, I'm walking out, and I'm telling you exactly, I'm walking out. And I said, now my Irma is going to know what I said. And she can call the police.
She's gonna tell me, yeah.
And God, please forgive me, God. And I jumped a little trench because they didn't have all the water from the kitchen and everything in the neighborhood. You used to go to a trench and run, not toilet, just there.
Yes.
And then when I getting into my grandmother's house, a bicycle comes in. Hello? I say, yeah. He said, Juan Cuellar? I said, yeah, me. You have a telegram.
Oh, it's Angel. It's Angel. It's crazy.
Everybody would say, it will happen anyway. No. It will happen like that because God knew what was going to happen.
Wow.
And then I get goosebumps. And then finally I got the telegram. I went to the communist director. And he used to go every day.
Yeah.
I remember the last time I was, I said, listen, I don't want to complain nothing. I just want you to show. So I pick up the one and you'll be here and I'm going to beat the crap out of them. Okay, because there were 4 and they asked me, you want to fight with any one of us? Come on, choose. I said, yeah. So when I win it, you're going to beat the crap out of me? Nah.
Exactly.
So now you bring him here and you're going to be the judge after that. See, it didn't make me now. So that was my point going over there because I know I had him in my hand. So I went there now with the telegram. Listen, what are you doing? Juan, I told you, we're looking for. I said, listen, forget about that now. Look what happened. My mom. And the girl, like, he got the telegram. He sent me his little bureau with a plastic, with pens.
Oh, yeah. Pocket protector.
And then all almidonado means, starch shirt. They don't do nothing. That's all they do. And he went put his hand on his big desk and he said, like this, look at me. You wouldn't like to try living, escaping Cuba to Guantanamo Bay, don't you?
Wow.
Oh man, I put a show. I remember my sister Yolanda at the theater and everything. I said, I'm tired of all of you. When I come back, I'm going to go to Havana, I'm going to move mountains. You control revolutionaries, you son of a gun, blah, 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 blah. He said, no, calm down. I'm teasing you. I said, you're teasing me, you're abusing me. Every one of you, I'm doing the work. No, I know you. You had a good file. You're going to work here. You got a recommendation to work here. By the Capagas from where I was working in. And no, so you coming here.
Wow.
We're going to take care of you.
Should have been an actor, man.
Yeah, I should have. I could have been somebody.
I could have been a contender.
So he signed a paper. I could get a plane, anything, whatever is fast. I had to pay for the ticket. It wasn't free, okay? But authorized. I can go to the airport. If one plane was leaving, they had to give me a seat. And I went to Guantanamo, to the bus company, and they put me in. I just wanted to disappear. So I have one flipper, and I had another one that it was rotten, and I mended. It was very hard, to find flippers. So I got my flipper, upside down, so it doesn't look like a flipper. So it looked like a square in a bag with a rope.
Yeah.
And then I got it. So I got to Guantanamo. So to make the story short, I started having an argument with this new guest in the Enterprise I'm living. So, but he something smelled bad about him.
Yeah.
And his father was a dentist, integrated. So I knew that if we fail, maybe Angel will get a break. he will get a break by his father. I'm the old one. I was in jail when I was 13 years old for disobedience to the authority.
Yeah.
I was going to pay all
Yeah. It would have been really bad.
really bad. So then we start arguing, and on the way there, on the trip to where we're going to depart, to Guantanamo Bay,
Mm-hmm.
I told Angel, I'm going to sit down here, and you go there. If you want to take this, I don't want to say what I said, it's fine. But if you see me going back, don't stop me. You leave me alone. So I stood there, and I remember I thought, okay, I'm going to go home now. I'm going to be dreaming every night that I cross, because I did. It happened many times. Which the reverse happened after. I'm going to have a dream that I escaped, that I got there, and then I woke up. And the reality hurts. And I got to put up with this guy. So before I lose my head, and then we make a noise, and they come. And Angel saw me that I went to him. He said, I know, because if you go there, I go after you. So I'm not going to escape with nobody.
Yeah.
No, if you don't want to come now, we don't come now.
Yeah.
It's not coming.
He's sticking with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we went. We got to the place. But when we went to the place, this guy is always on the middle. He's a guest. It's like you were given a chance.
Yeah.
If you wanted to escape, that's a big enterprise, okay, in Cuba. Because you're putting your life in danger.
Yes.
Everything is about danger. A bomb, a mine, a shark,
Sharks. Yeah.
electricity, whatever. You don't know what they have.
Yeah.
And then they have in the middle of the bay. It has like a little key, and it works like this. To griffin. We call him griffin boat, tugboat.
Yeah.
Overcross.
Just watching for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the stadium, and I saw the Bengal. We call him Bengal light, the flashlight,
Yeah.
The
searchlight.
Bengal light. Yeah, we call him Luce de Bengala. And boom, and I said, oh my God, somebody was trying to escape, and they're looking. They put it, they can see the bay clear, like a daytime.
Yeah.
So finally we got there to the same place. And but before we get there, we're talking about now this 45 minutes sinking in, and that it sucks the energy out of you. So I said to Angel, I'm going to show you a gift. We're going to be there in 5 minutes through here. He said, no. I said, don't listen to him. This guy. He's loco. He's crazy.
Yeah.
He's loco. Do your plan. I said, what plan, man? This is our plan. Cállate la boca.
Yeah.
And then finally Angel said, hey, whatever he said, I'll go. So we went in 5 minutes. And Angel said, oh my God. Now we are done. So we prayed. And we were not sure that in the mangrove, we call it manglare, which is the plant. What is the tree that grows in the sea?
Like seaweed or?
No, the tree.
Oh, the tree. A tree? It's a tree that grows.
It's a tree that grows into the coast in Miami. You see it in Miami Beach.
Oh, the mangrove?
Mangrove.
Yeah,
we call it mangrove.
Yeah.
Mangrove.
Mangrove tree.
And there was a little space like the size of as wide as I would say, maybe 15 yards.
Okay.
That we didn't know if they put bombs in mines. So I prayed over there from my heart, and all of a sudden I felt, I think it was the Holy Spirit. And I said to Angel, we are going to make it. Follow me. And we were at the beginning kind of skeptical.
Yes.
And I went, and he said, follow me. And I went, boom, 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 boom. And then you see the beach. But it's all mud. No sand, nothing. It's mud, pure mud. And then I slide myself. We got some oil. And then I didn't like the oil because you see fluorescent
Yeah.
in
It's
the
like
water.
shiny. Yeah.
So I said, this is not going to work. It's anti-char, for the char. They say. I went and cleaned it with this. And he didn't want to do it and still racing. I said, cállate, man. Don't do the thing and cut yourself and you come on your own.
Yeah.
So finally we went. And then we were there about, I would say about 7:30 to 8. So about after 3 hours, swimming back and looking. My flipper gave in. So I got one that is now. It lost the half that I mended.
So how long did you swim? You said you swim like
It was
3
about
hours?
5.5 hours.
So, but
The journey
yeah.
to reach. But
How are you? You said you were tied to each other.
we were far away, like about 6-10 feet,
Okay.
in 10 feet, like in line. But I was ahead. Anytime if I see something, or Angel sees something, or the one in the middle sees something, which it was him, Collazo, I was his last man, and he will pull both sides. So that means we group, and then we decide to take the best and then try to escape on the water. But we had to cover ourselves. So everybody was on his own.
Yeah.
So finally, all of a sudden, I started looking in the back and I saw the light, but the light was in an angle. And Angel said, call and said, that's the light. And I said, Angel, that is not the light that I saw on the steady. It don't look like the same light. So let's keep on going until because it's like this, you see? Then, so this piece of land, that's where Caimanera is, kind of obstruct to where the United States post is. So finally, when we got on the open, and I looked and I saw that big sun, I call him a sun, S-U-N.
Yeah.
It was shining, man. I said, that's the light.
Yeah.
And Angel said, because I went and pulled again. And then I said, that's the light. And then Angel said, but they told me that when I get it, I said, because you're talking about the angle. That's the light. That's where I go.
Yeah.
If you want to go, Angel, I love you. I said, you're my buddy, you're my brother. But if you want to go to that light, you go. That's Boquerón. Because what Cuba did is copycat, like the devil. The devil doesn't create anything. It imitates. It only imitates.
Right, right.
So they do that. They put a light. And many people thought that was
So they
the
go
light.
there and then they capture it.
And when they go there,
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's when he complained and Daddy says, well, you know, I said, listen, that one said there, we go there. So finally, all of a sudden, we feel like we're dragging. And then I go back, I pull and go back, and I said, what happened? He said, I don't know. Angel had what we call it, cuca in Spanish, which means like a spasm, when he couldn't move, shivering. So then I lost it there, but God was looking after her because he looked at me like to leave him there. Oh man.
This was the guest?
Yeah, the guy.
Like the angel?
Collazo, yeah. Oh, what we're gonna do now? I say, you grab him over there. You are here because of him.
Yes.
Because otherwise I'm gonna put you down here.
Man.
So I mean, I'm telling you, not true.
Crazy.
And finally I said, Angel, you have to give me your flipper, a good one. I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna give you my broken one because the broken one I still got like a little bit,
Yeah, yeah.
And until you recoup, and we're gonna go the three of us together, pulling you. Okay? So finally we start going. And Angel start, finally until Angel said, I'm good now. And then I look and now I feel the current. We got the low tide.
Mm-hmm.
It's going away and it's pulling us. So And then I can see the light closer. And I said, okay, Angel, I'm going to give you your flipper. He said, no, 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 no. See, what happened, the flipper was too big for me. Angel is a small,
Yeah.
it's about
He's
5
short.
feet.
He's shorter. Yeah.
Yeah. And this one is the one that I need. I said, okay, are you sure? Yeah. So then I went. We took the vest, and then I went in. Let's go. And I went in. Boom. Collazo came third, second, and Angel came. And I went like this, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking at the,
The light.
no,
No.
at the guard post.
Oh, the tower. The tower.
Yeah, because they can shoot you. See, it's located strategically that the base, Guantanamo base, is behind him. It's a little strip.
Yeah.
And he can shoot into Guantanamo water. He cannot shoot that a bullet can go into America because they will get shot, and there were a lot of confrontation and soldiers, Cuban soldiers that were shot because they were shooting people and shooting inside.
Yeah.
Until they told them, don't shoot. So they were in a very strategic position to kill because the light illuminates, it's like a sun, it's daytime.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at that thing with my hand, trying to kill the reflection, and it was empty.
Oh, there's no one in there.
It was empty. I don't know if the guy is down sleeping.
Yeah, he's taking a break.
Yeah, the same garita that you see in the movie in Vietnam, you know, with purples, you know, and
Yes.
yeah.
It's like a tower. Yeah.
Yeah, a tower. So finally, anyway, I got in there, I got myself, and I feel myself being pulled like a river, I'm not kidding you. Then you're exhausted in a sense, and then I tried to get up. Finally, I struggled and I climbed down, and then come Cuellar, I gave him the hand and lift him up, and then come Angel, very slow, still recouping. So finally, I bring Angel down, and Angel, but I look inside, and then I see a black man dressed up in uniform, green, like Castro, the same uniform, green. And I went, oof. But I looked, I saw like a range, like a little oven thing. I saw apples, and said, well, they can fool you, but they don't have the apple and stuff like that fresh, you know?
Yeah.
I said, and then Angel comes and see, if we are free, coño.
Wow.
We are free, cojones. You know what cojones is. And then because of the plan. And finally, you know, then came the guy from the top with a machine gun. Don't move. So finally, that's it. They called and came in a van, and they said, "We're going to lay down in the back. You're not going to look anywhere. Stay down. If you got up, you're going to be back. You'll return. We'll take you back. We'll return you." So anyway, they put it in a house, in a barrack full of on a fence, and then hills. I think it was artificial hill that they did. And then we were about 30 minutes, maybe 10 days, waiting for more people. And then we were about a group of 15 or 16. And that's how we got. And we came to Miami in a Navy
ship?
cargo plane.
Cargo planes? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What was running through your mind when you saw that guy in the uniform, the military uniform? Were you like, oh my God?
That I could be fooled. That I still was.
When did you realize it was U.S.? It was the apples?
When the guy came down, and when I saw the apple, when I saw the cigarette,
okay.
I was a smoker, a Lucky Strike, and then I saw the Lucky Strike.
Well, what did you feel in that moment?
Oh, you can imagine how you would feel.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Like the greatest achievement that you can have.
So they flew in a cargo plane to Miami.
Yeah.
After, once they had more people.
And they put us in the Liberty House. La Casa de la Libertad, the House of Liberty, which was in the airport. They had a plaque. They have a little monument, and they have a plaque there. But it wasn't the tower. When the people that before me in the 60s, they used to come to the freedom flight.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Man.
that was in 1971. And to be honest with you, my 18th birthday happened in the House of Liberty in the Freedom Hall.
What'd you do for your birthday?
I bought me a small radio. What do you call it? Transistor radio.
Transistor
Yeah,
radio.
$5.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you must have felt on top of the world
Oh, I was.
finally making it.
I
Yeah.
was. It was the greatest achievement in my life.
Did you
First case.
did you and Angel kind of like hug and like celebrate?
Oh man, we went to California, and then in California, our family tried to put in Costa Mesa, and she was well off, in Costa Mesa Country Club. The party was a country club. She was.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember the carpet white and all of that in the high school, and all the drugs over there at that time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, LSD.
Oh man.
I'm telling you, in the high school, I'm talking about the high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
EP, people with money.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a couple more questions about Cuba. In the back of your mind, as you're like happy and celebrating, were you thinking about your mother and your siblings still there? Were you thinking like,
Well, I kind of, yes, I did, but I didn't have that drawing because we were split up
Mhm.
since we were kids. We were not
Okay.
together. We didn't have a unit. Now we have it. Now we have it
Yeah,
as a family. We were divided from day one.
I see.
We
I
were
see.
divided.
Gotcha.
So I was also happy for me, happy for my grandmother because it's the one that gave me the first time I felt love.
Yeah, for sure.
And for my mom, in a sense, yes, she was my mom, but she didn't raise me up.
Yeah, I see.
But the time that she raised me up, she was too paranoid,
Paranoid.
so it didn't help. My grandmother was more the Christian one.
I see.
I learned the song. My father was a preacher, a Pentecostal,
Mm.
but when I saw the experience, let me tell you this: in Cuba, being a secular atheist movement, I was the best candidate to be an atheist. Poor
Mhm.
and bad experience in the church. I could reject everything about that,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
Once you got to California, were you able to find any work, any jobs?
Yeah, I started working over there in California finally because when I left the house, because I didn't like the ambience in the high school
Mhm.
and all that was what I was seeing. And I told my social worker, which I want to honor him, his name was Peter Wise. Was a lovely man. He's a good social worker, I would say.
Mhm.
He did it with his heart. He said, Juan, why don't you go to the university? Why don't you go and pick up a career? You got the opportunity. Why don't you do it? I said, because I come here now to have a career. But you want it to be something. I said, well, yeah, I always wanted to be an architect. You can be an architect. I can do everything for you.
Mhm.
That opportunity, not even American has it. It's only for the refugee. I said, but I don't feel comfortable having an opportunity that others have because in Cuba it's the same thing. Only the communists get the opportunity. And I wanted to have a home. I wanted to have a home.
Yeah.
So I started working in a musical instrument. FEO and Son, they used to make trumpets, saxophone.
Oh wow.
And then I left California because I didn't like the culture, violence culture,
Yeah.
the gangs.
Right.
There were the Hispanic, the black, and in Santa Ana. I ended up in Santa Ana, and through my experience. So then I came to Miami in 1974.
So you were in California until 1974. You came to Florida.
Yeah, in 1973, I remember I bought my first car, Monte Carlo, 1973.
Yeah.
Have vinyl.
How did you get that car? Like, what jobs were you?
I bought it with my job. It cost me 4,000.
Yeah. What were you doing?
I drove with them
You-
to Miami. Yeah.
No, but were you working a certain job to
Yeah,
be able to
in
afford
the
trumpet?
in the trumpet. Yeah,
Oh, okay, got you.
yeah. I was
So you
working
just
there.
saved up and
Yeah,
worked.
making about $375 an hour, but you get bonus in time. And I used to.
$3.75
Yeah,
an hour.
yeah,
Man,
yeah.
that's
But
crazy.
you know,
In the
you know how much it
70s.
was rent?
What?
$150.
A month?
Furniture, electricity included.
Oh my gosh.
In,
I wish it was.
in Anaheim,
Wish it was like that.
in
Now.
Anaheim, California.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Uh,
What were some of the struggles here in Miami that you faced
um,
when you were trying to make it?
because it was less money here,
Hmm.
I had to kind of figure it out. So I went into different business, and I went into construction too, and in the metal finish business, and but more construction than later on, and
More construction.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah, you ended up building because you gained all this knowledge with construction. I remember you telling me you were really good with tile work.
I did tile, marble,
Yeah.
addition, and what I did is I bought a house for an investment, but I ended up building my own.
Yes. That's what I was
I already
touch on
purchased different. I purchased first in the 1980 a townhouse,
Mhm.
and then from the townhouse I went into a house on the lake in Hialeah. Then I went to a house in Pembroke Pines,
Right, Hialeah and behind.
and then from Pembroke Pines I bought this property in Miami Spring, which is a nice neighborhood where I live now.
Yeah,
And I built my house, my big house,
yeah.
and God allowed me to have that dream. Even though that my house in Pembroke Pines was nice, but this one was a big home.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a beautiful home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a big,
So, I mean, you literally lived your dream. That's
Yeah,
what you wanted.
I did.
That's what you
But
wanted.
God allowed me to live my dream.
Yeah, yeah. That's beautiful. I love that.
Glory to Him.
So I have a question from your granddaughter, Selena, who's my daughter. She wanted to know the story on how you lost your eye.
Well, um, that was about 7 years ago
Mm-hmm.
on my birthday, and we went to a restaurant in Coral Gables. But I was being very sick. As a matter of fact, I came from New Jersey.
You were visiting us in New Jersey, yeah.
And I didn't look good. And then I started, after we came from the restaurant, I started having the shivering and
Yeah.
shaking, and it didn't stop. And then it goes, stomach problems, and I don't like doctors. I always try to.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
like
try
doctors
to.
either.
No
I hear you
medicine.
on that.
Yeah. So what happened is, in a week, I felt good. I felt bad. I even cut my hair. I went to the barber, cut my hair. And then in a week, as I said, by the next Friday, that was a Saturday, next Friday, I said to him, let's go to the hospital. I don't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And we went there. We picked up a good hospital that I like, West Memorial in Pembroke Pines. And when I got there, after we felt that everything, and I said to him, go there and tell them that I'm not going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was going. So finally they brought me in, and what I had was septicemia. Septic. I went septic, and I was about 3 or 4 months in intensive care, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't remember too many things. And one of the things that happens after that, it was it was a beautiful name of that bacteria. I don't know. I feel attracted to it because it's Klebsiella. It sounds pretty to me, but it's
Deadly.
deadly.
Deadly. Yeah.
And so I got Klebsiella for finally through. Also, it's a different story, but more testimony of how God is. A lot of people pray for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not supposed to make it. I wasn't supposed to make it.
Yeah.
they told Crystal, my daughter, that I was going to die.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, so what happened is, when I got sick, I used to see like a spot in my eye, like a dark, not dark, but spot.
Spots. Yeah.
So then after I came up from the disease, I went to the obstetrician and ophthalmologist saw me and he said, listen, you have a cataract. I mean, you have retinal detachment and because of your disease and then it happened before, but now it's scarred and I don't think you're gonna recoup too much of that outside, but
So they
maybe 20 or 30% after we operate.
Gotcha.
So I went in and they did all the tests, blood tests, and then boom, they operated, and about a month after, my eyes swollen and
They got it.
I lost my eye. Yeah,
So after the operation, they got infected.
yeah, and they said, "Oh, you have Klebsiella hide in there." I don't believe that. I believe it was a negligence, but it's fine. I lost my eye, and that's it. Nucleation. They took it out, and
Yeah.
then you have a piece of plastic inside there.
Yeah. Yeah. You have like a.
It's uncomfortable, but it's fine.
Are you used to it now? Is it still uncomfortable or are you getting used
It's
to it?
uncomfortable, yes. It's always, it's not a pleasing thing. I don't know how to do.
But you just
Maybe I'm going to have a glasses, that it seals it completely. I don't like the patch with that string around. Like a Crenshaw, the congressman. I don't like it.
Yeah.
So what I do is I painted one black and leave the one that I can see. So anyway, that's what happened with my eye. But I'm telling you, my wife said, and everybody said, why are you so content? Why? When they said they weren't going to take your eye.
Yeah.
I said, what is an eye? What is an eye? Now, if I was 18, 19, 20 years old, it would have been more traumatic,
Yeah.
But,
see that.
but now, I'm 60, I was 63, then 64. Not a big deal.
You still got one good one, right?
Well, it's not that good neither. That
It works.
my grandmother went blind. My sister also losing one side. Yolanda lost one eye. We have a gene there. Isaac, the son of Jacob and of Abraham, he went blind too when he was young. So
Yeah. Well, you have a good positive attitude.
Jesus went to worse thing. I still can see you. So, without my glasses,
really
blurry, but I can still see you clear. So more or less.
No, it's a good attitude to have.
Yeah.
So I have one more question in the underdog segment. I don't know if you want to go. I don't want to push. I don't know if you want to go into like the hospital experience with this.
You can go whatever you want. You can ask.
Is there anything you want to talk about during that experience?
No, it was a good experience in the hospital, and according to my wife, I think some kind of a weird spirit tried to get into the scene. But without giving you too much detail, I was on the drug. I was taking the Prof Buff or whatever it was the Michael Jackson cocktail was taken, exactly that cocktail. Okay. So I was out. But my wife kicked him out in a hurry. Yeah.
Do you remember anything?
No. I remember a dream that I had.
Okay.
A vision. The vision was that I didn't have any arms, any legs, and I was screaming at nurse. I said, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you ignoring me?" And more or less, I'm not saying you vividly did.
Yeah.
and that I was going to be sent to the United Nations as an example for humanity for something that, I don't know, something weird like that. Yeah. That's what I remember on.
Disconnected memories from that. Yeah.
Discombobulated kind of a brain going all over the brain. But I think it was more under the effect of the narcotic. Because my good friend, Jose Gallo, was there as a good friend. I mean, sometimes I don't think I will do that for him, what he did for me. It's very hard. And he picked up a few things there. He was like also watching. And he said to the doctor, stop the drug now.
Mm.
And after that, I had an improvement.
Makes you think, huh?
Yeah, he talked to Carol now. Didn't have the authority, but Carol did.
Yeah.
He said, you stop the narcotic now. The prop of
Interesting.
heroin and all that thing is
Yeah, morphine.
yeah, morphine.
Yeah, morphine. Yeah.
Morphine or heroin, no, morphine.
Morphine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that's what I remember. And also a doctor. You see, nothing happened by chance. Christopher, my son, was there, and a customer of him, in his business, and was a doctor of epidemiology, and he was there. He saw Christopher. He said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" I said, "Oh, my father." And he said, "What happened to your father?" And he said, "Yeah, no, he got this and this and that's septic." And he said, "Let me see." And he went inside. He said, "No, change the antibiotic. You put another one." And that's the one
That helps.
that completely, yeah.
Wow.
My stomach shut down, my lungs shut down, my kidney was shut down.
Yeah.
I went yellow, I swollen. I mean, I was gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gone.
I'm glad you're still here, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're still here.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
So the last question is from your daughter,
Yeah.
Crystal, my wife.
Yeah.
She wants to know, do you have any regrets about life?
I got a few, and I got none. How can I?
That's that?
That's not.
That's that?
I got
All
a
right.
few. But in a sense, yeah, one.
Okay.
But nothing to.
You feel blessed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
immensely.
Yeah.
With my family, with my kids, all of them. I'm proud of all of them, each and one of them. My wife, a man cannot expect, or a man like me cannot expect to have a wife like that. And about you two, the way that you take care and look after my daughter,
She's off camera.
I don't worry about her.
That's good.
I worry about her when she was a teenager because I have to do it, but not anymore. And
Not
I know
anymore,
she's
right?
under him. And what else? Nothing. I got all my family now from Cuba, so you asked me about that question before.
Yeah.
And all of them came. I could bring my mom to visit me many times over.
Yep.
I got all my sisters or the kids. Everybody's here, working hard.
Yeah.
2 niece, small, 10 years old and 17 years old, starting a new life of freedom.
Yeah.
And doing good. And
I love that.
And this is the greatest country that ever was created by man. The Greeks and the Romans didn't get close to them.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I do. Well, thank you so much for all those stories. And then
And I appreciate it.
people are gonna watch this and be so inspired.
Even though we didn't get into politics.
Yeah, we're gonna relax with the politics a little bit. Yeah.
Oh,
because it's a long episode.
I was looking forward.
We can come back on and talk politics another time.
I was looking forward to tell you
Yeah.
everything that like I said to close it, everything that I'm seeing here.
No, I know.
I saw that movie. I always tell you, I saw that film.
Yeah. No, we'll do it.
And that's what the Cuban in Miami is always different than any other Hispanic. I don't like the term Latin when you speak Latin.
Yeah.
And
we can record another episode soon.
Yeah, well, that'd be great because I would tell you about all the movement, intellectual movement, what is happening, what happened when I went to Spain, and what is going on. It's the history. They want to change the history.
Yeah.
Revising and changing and teach you something that is not real.
I hear you. So we'll try to record something else later. But I want to end this podcast on a positive note
Okay.
with some fun, like I always do, because it's always good to end with fun. So I'll just move on to the quick question segment.
I hope I don't have to give you a quick answer.
You gotta do very fast. No.
No.
It is rapid response, but you don't, just answer it to the best of your ability. There's gonna be 10 questions. And they're fun. Have you ever seen the TV show Inside the Actors Studio with James Lipton? It was on the Bravo channel. Do you remember that?
No, I never said
No?
Bravo.
Okay. So he used to have entertainers and performers.
Yeah, but I know.
And he asked questions, and I got that from him.
Defining what word.
And I kind of refined it to my questions or whatever. But it's the quick questions game. So I'll ask you questions, answer them as fast as you can, and if you want to explain your answer, that's okay too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So first question:
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite film?
The Godfather, 1 and 2.
Both of them? One and two?
Both of them. I think 2 was better than 1.
Yeah, me too. I agree with that. Who's your favorite actor or actress?
There's a question there. Marlon Brando, I would say, I think honestly, I think we agree on that too. Christian Bale.
Okay. Yep, I agree. Who's your favorite music artist or band?
It used to be funny. It used to be when I was younger, the Beatles. Beatles, man, it was in Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't stand them now. Honestly, I don't.
Yeah.
So my favorite song is The Hollies, Night in White Satin is my favorite song.
Okay. What's your favorite sound?
My favorite?
Sound.
Sound?
Yeah, your favorite sound.
Okay.
Be anything.
You mean music type? Or?
No, anything. It could be any sound.
From a musical instrument or something?
No, anything. It could be an instrument. It could be the waves in the ocean. Mm-hmm. It could be anything you want.
The sound of silence.
Silence. Yeah. What's your favorite smell?
Honestly, it used to be gardenia, but now it's lavender.
Lavender, okay.
When it's fresh.
Yeah. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
The power to interpret the Bible 100%. I don't want no superpower. I don't believe in that. The power to understand the Word of God 100%.
Okay, I'm going to come over the top with a question that's opposite of that.
Okay.
Kind of. What's your favorite curse word?
My favorite
curse word, yeah.
Curse? Shit.
It could be as fast as
shit. Fuck that shit. 2. I give you 2.
Okay. Is there a favorite curse word in Spanish?
You will not understand. I'm not in this position to translate it.
Right,
but I would say it, and I leave it for your audience. Come pinga.
All right.
That's Pira. Cat sucker.
Okay.
Come pinga.
Okay.
There's a lot of them here, everywhere.
Who do you look up to?
I looked up to my family, and I would say that's the only thing that I looked up to. I don't have no idol. Since I was a kid, my philosopher was Menite. That was a French story translated as curiosity, perseverance, mm-hmm. and ingenuity can get you more. And I follow that philosophy in a sense, and it was very positive to me. So I would say that.
Who's someone you'd like to say thank you to?
God, every day.
Last question.
Mm-hmm.
When it's your
always say the one before last. Never dare say a last question.
Last question. When you get to heaven and you walk up to the pearly white gates, what would you like to hear God say to you?
My God, thank you, Lord, that I made it.
What would you like to hear Him say to you?
Peter?
No, God.
No, but it's not
God and Peter.
But you know that the one that had the key to heaven is Peter. No, I would say thank you, Lord.
Would he say welcome? What would he say to you?
I will not speak about that.
You don't
what he
speak
would
for
say. I never.
Okay.
I don't know what he's going to say. I know that I'm going to lower my head. I don't deserve to be there.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Mr. C, thank you so much for doing this.
No, the pleasure is mine,
It's
Gabe.
great. Yeah. This has been an Art and Underdogs podcast with Juan Cuellar. I'll see you guys next time.